Hello everyone. My name is Anita Makaria and my company's name is Shubkamna Events and Experiences. Yes, we are into the business of creating mesmerizing experiences and celebrating your happiness. We are a team of young enthusiasts creating impactful and truly memorable experiences for our clients and their guests. And how do we do it? We are doing this by combining style with elegance and innovations with traditions. With this belief, we cater to three verticals of event management. One, social events, that is your weddings, birthday parties, theme celebrations, milestone celebrations. We cater to corporate events, which includes team outings, R&R, that is rewards and recognitions. We cater to seminars and conferences. And finally, we cater to the BTL activations. I'm sure by now all these names and words are familiar to each one of you. Our head office is in Bangalore, and we have our branch offices in Hyderabad, Chennai, and Pune. This is basically for our corporate events and BTL activations. And with our team support, we cater to pan India requirements. And when it comes to weddings, yes, we do destination weddings as well. Why Shubkamnayan? Because we strongly believe that no celebration is complete if we don't have Shubkamnayan. So, for any and every requirement that a person or a company may have, we are the best event partners for that particular occasion. Um, Shubkamna is very, very, very close to my heart. It's my baby. I mean, I nurture it like a baby. And why events? Because events give me a kick. They, I mean, it is what I love doing. Being a part of everybody's happiness, making sure that everybody's happiness is, are fulfilled. They have certain dreams and aspirations and objectives, and we are the medium for them to achieve that, and that is what gives me a kick. Okay, let's not become too much into Shubkamna. Um, let's move on to what we are here for today. Today we are going to discuss about sports events. So before I start on sports events, something which I always tell you all to do. I hope you all are having your pen and paper to make notes. If there's something which you think is of value add on, you may want to write it down so that you can remember it. So please carry your pens and papers. Please bring your water bottles so that you can dedicate this particular time for only this session without any interruption. So here we go. What you see on screen is very, very little of the many sports events that can be. In today's session, we will briefly be touching upon these particular topics. What we would learn in today's session would be, what do you mean by sports events? What is the history of sports events? And believe me, history of sports events will not be in detail. It'll just be a brief. Different types of sports events. What are the scope of sports events? Skills of a sports manager or a person who's conducting these events, implementation of the event, and importance of the sports management. So, what according to you is sports? All of us must have been related to sports right from our childhood days, right? In play school, we've been a part of our sports teams. In schools and colleges, we've had these running race, we've had these lemon and spoon race. I'm not too sure how many of you would have kept that book on the head and trying to balance and walk. We used to do that in our school. And then you have these gunny bag races, you have skipping, you have these are just athletic sports which I'm talking about. Then you have these throw balls, volleyballs, crickets, football, kabaddi, coco, and you may have these javelin throws, high jump, long jump. Did I mention tennis? Yes. And then so many. Badminton is my favorite. I've always been playing badminton right from my school days. So, sports is something which has kept us energetic. Sports is indirectly a form of physical exercise, and there are varied forms of sports. Many of you must be thinking swimming is a sport. Yes, swimming is a sport. Then there could be archeries. They all come under sport events. So, what, according to you, is sports? Sports in any form, usually competitive in nature, is a physical activity. It could be individual. It could be two people, or dual or partners, or it could be a team participation. This is either in an organized manner or in a casual participation, which is basically to improve your physical ability, your fitness, your strengths, okay, and also providing entertainment to participants and the audience and the spectators. So, don't you think you enjoy watching these IPL matches and the other cricket tournaments? As a badminton player, I used to love watching badminton tournaments. So, we've always sat back. It's not necessary that you have to be the sports person or the player of the team to enjoy the sports. We've enjoyed sports being spectators and clapping and cheering for our teams also, right? So, this is what is sports all about. Now, when I come to history of sports, I mean, it's from so many years, way back. Early Greek, Chinese, and Egyptian cultures also show that they have always been developing sports events right from those days to what they are today. Today's sports event industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It includes small competitions to large competitions, varying in different scales. Locally, within your taluk levels, your district levels, your state levels, it could be within your national levels, it could be international levels. And do I really need to mention sports like Olympics and FIFA and other kind of sports? If I try to get into in depth of these sports, let me tell you, this one session will not be enough. One session to talk only about the Greek sports, one session to talk about the history of sports, talking about World Cup, FIFA, cricket. I mean, it can go on and on. It could be just one complete um, syllabus altogether. We are just touching on history of sports to show that sports has been important and sports has been a part of our life from so many cultures behind. As I said, sports could be physical sports, it could be badminton, cricket, football, tennis. These are all your physical sports or athletics sports. But there are certain competitive sports which involve your mind games. Can you think of something quickly? It could be these sport games could be actually your chess. It could be shooting, etc., where you're using your mind, your concentration, and focus. It doesn't mean that you don't need your mind focus and concentration in other sports like badminton or others. You need this every time. But of course, when it comes to chess or something, you're not running around. It's not a physical game. It is completely a mental game. There are also water games and motorized sports such as Formula One, your power boating, your bike rallies, your other kind of car rallies, etc. Sorry, my pen had fallen down and I had to pick it up. So, what are the different types of sports? Quickly, just close your eyes and think of the different type of sports that you might have come across. It could be your volleyball, it could be throw ball, it could be polo, it could be billiards, it could be rugby, it could be softballs. I'm not too sure how many of you would have heard of ball badminton. We've heard of badminton and we've heard of tennis. There was one interesting sport called ball badminton when I was in school. And I used to love playing that game. You cannot smash it. If you have to smash it, you have to smash it under the net. So it's, again, like two teams playing. We used to play it in our garden area, in the open grounds actually. And it was a combination of badminton and tennis together. You used to have that small sort of. Then you have your bowling, you have darts, you have shooting, football, surfing, horse racing, motorsports, which include your car racing, rallies, mud races, your bike rallies, your marathons, your running races, and the list can go on and on. Okay, Before, if I were to sit and list it down, right, I told you it'll take a lot of time. So it's quickly an activity time for all of you. Name a few physical sports. Hey, write it down, yes. Name a few physical sports, name a few mind sports. Name three national sports and three international sports. Which amongst this is your favorite and why? Have you ever seen a car rally or a motorbike rally? What about a rally interests you, if at all it does? So, this is something which you can quickly jot down. These are the questions. Think about it and answer. This could give you varied thoughts on what are the different kind of sports that can happen and what is your interest level in sports. Moving on to the next topic in this session is what would you be doing if you were a part of the sports event management team? Of course, you need to look at the logistics involved, the what, the where, how, who of the event, why you're going to do this event, who is the audience, what is the game that you're planning to do, what's the objective of this particular event, what is the branding that is required, okay, and how, why, when are you going to plan this branding? What are the financial aspects involved? What are your expenses? What could be raised out of sponsorship? Is it going to be a ticketed show? How are you going to raise the funds for it? What about the negotiations? What about the contracts? So that's the financial aspect of it. Expertise and event environment specifics. As I always say that no two events are the same, right? So no two sports events also can be the same. Badminton is going to be an indoor game, whereas cricket is going to be an outdoor game. The number of players in every game varies. Basketball has certain rules and regulations. You have tennis, which has certain rules and regulations. You have each of these sports having their own set of rules and regulations. They have their own associations. They have everything completely different. The objective of every sport event again is different. So, who's going to be a go to person to answer all your logistic problems? Safety and security is highly important, especially when it comes to sports events, because there are chances of accidents, there are chances of injuries. So you should always be prepared with your medical aid camps as well as other security measures should be in place. These are just few of the other event management requirements or the roles that you'll be playing. See, I've always told you all that when you are an event planner or an event manager, you are not wearing just one hat. You're not just doing one duty. You're not just in charge of one department. By default, you are a multitasker. So, apart from everything else that an event manager does, when it comes to sports events, there is a lot of discipline. There is a lot of uh, rules and regulations that are strictly to be followed. Now you understood what you have to do. So, what do you think would be the skills of a sports event manager? Of course, the professionals who excel and advance in sports event management need to know about those sports, okay? And they should be having the skill of solving any problem as it arises. Preconceiving the problem is the best so that you're already prepared to handle adversities. In short, all the basic skills that are required for an event planner holds good to be a sports event person. You need to be a good communicator. You need to be adaptable to certain and unexpected situations. You should be high on energy and enthusiastic on the field. Of course, you should be a good motivator and the leader of a team. Always have eye to detail. Sports events are specific events. You cannot not match the requirements. You should have excellent time management skills. You know what happens? You may just lose the race by just a fraction of a second. You should have eye to detailing in such a manner that you actually can capture every moment logically. Excellent organizational skills and being comfortable using variety of different technologies. Have you have you not seen difference in technology which was used in cricket earlier and what it is used today, in football earlier and what it is used today. Check out all these Olympic sports. I mean, every sport event is just spectacular to watch. Now we come to the implementation of the event. As I told you, communication is of paramount importance. Okay, you need to have good communication. You should know it is all about technology. It's all about being correct. Okay, it's all about specifications. It's about rules. It's all about team spirits. You should have your knowledge correct. You should take care of all your venue arrangements and contracts. What are your marketings involved? Is it going to be through sales of tickets? What is the PR that you're going to take care of? What is the financials and budgetings and sponsorships? The when you're to implement the event, your plans, your proposals, everything that you do, beforehand, your pre-event time, your event duration, post-event duration, all still hold good. Take all the required licenses and permissions. Be very strong on your legals. Take care of all the logistics. Have a checklist. Keep it updated. Keep posting. Keep making a note of what is done, what is pending, what are the timelines in which you have to complete that particular task. Food. What is the kind of food that you're going to arrange for? Because most of the time when you talk about sports, fitness, etc., healthy and nutritious food is very important. Have you taken care of all the safety measurements which are required? Have you taken care of the risk assessment? This all comes into picture when you're planning to implement the event. We would like to talk about what is the importance of sports events. Sports events brings nation and people together. It unifies everybody as one, supporting and cheering common love, interest, and goal. Yes, I've picked this up from Google and I actually found this very, very relevant. Don't we all cheer for our teams? Don't we all, get so unified when it's an India match? It also involves a long-term investment. It's a business opportunity for us, right? And like any other event industry, there are so many people involved in this. So it creates lots of jobs, it creates a lot of investment opportunity, it increases a lot of PR to many companies. But more than all, I strongly believe that sports events are very important as it enhances the talent. It gives a platform to all the sport lovers or to the players or performers, and it brings about one positive competitive spirit. And we always know that it has a lot to do with our health, it's a lot to do with our physical activity. Hence, I strongly feel that sports events is very important. And trust me, there is a lot of scope even in the sports events. It just depends whether you're passionate about that particular sport or in general sports events. One thing which sports always teaches us is having the true sportsmanship. The reason why I say true sportsmanship is because if you are a player, if you're a champion, if you are a sports person, it is all your attitude that is actually making you win. It is a courtesy that you show towards your teammates, especially your opponents. The kind of ethical behavior that is demonstrated on field, it shows your integrity and grace, whether there's victory or defeat. And this is a very, very beautiful concept of sportsmanship. And if at all you are a sports person yourself, I always say that every champion was once a contender that refused to give up. So, and if you look at it, see, if I talk about sports in general, this itself is a very, very powerful statement. But if you look at it, you can also place this in general in any field as well. The whole idea is don't give up. If you're passionate about something, put in efforts. Don't wait for the result. You do your 100% and the results will come to you. Do not give up. It's an activity time again. Now I'm going to keep every screen for say 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Now what was the activity? If you're not looking here, right, then don't blame me. The activity is simple. I showed you 3 slides. Now recall the different types of sports events that you saw in those slides. What are the points that you would consider if you were to organize a marathon? Before I summarize what we learned in today's session, I would like to tell you that there's a lot of in-depth detailing which goes into sports events. Covering up in one session is not. I'm not going to do justice to it. I've just given you a brief so that you can just start, working on your mind now, and you can always connect with me if you have any doubts. What we learned in brief in today's session was what do you mean by sports events? A brief history of sports, different types of sports events, what is the scope of sports events and skills of a sports event manager, what are the points that you need to take care while you're implementing a sports event, and what is the importance of sports management. Apart from the economicals, apart from finances and giving a platform for sports events, it also has a strong economic and cultural impact on the society as well. In case you still have any doubts or queries, you may always reach out to me. You do have your syllabus with you. I've just given a brief. If at all you want to know anything more about me, my name's Anita Makharia. My company's name is Shubkamnai. My email ID is anitamakharia@gmail.com. I hope you had a good session. Take care. Thank you and Shubkamnai.